Come close, my darlings. Na me again, your hottest just giving auntie for town, Aunty Gistina, the queen of Wahala stories and gbasgbos revelations. Today gist sweet like honey mixed with pepper. You no go believe wetin happen to dis fine girl wey dey arrange marry. She no love the guy oo, but guess wetin, na inside dat arrange love better gbalaga start. Na real Aisha stood in front of the mirror in her white wedding dress, but instead of feeling like a princess, she felt like a prisoner. Do I look okay? She asked her cousin Maya, her voice shaky. Maya smiled and nodded. You look beautiful, Aisha. Just nervous, I guess. Aisha gave a weak smile, but her stomach turned. She wanted to scream, to run, but her parents had chosen Sam for her. He was from a respected family, a software engineer with soft eyes and kind words. Everyone said she was lucky. Lucky, she whispered to herself, turning back to the mirror. But whose luck is this? Theirs or mine? She remembered when her parents first told her about the arrangement. He's a good man. Her father had said you will grow to love him. Love. Aisha loved sketching the birds outside her window. She loved playing the guitar at night when everyone was asleep. She had dreams, open galleries, travel to places she had only seen in books. But those dreams had been pushed aside for tradition. The wedding hall was filled with smiling faces. Sam stood tall in his suit, looking calm when Aisha reached him. He whispered gently, You are shaking. I know, she replied. I'm just overwhelmed. He looked at her with concern, but there wasn't much time. Vows were said, rings exchanged, pictures taken, everyone clapped. But inside Aisha, a war was beginning. That night, as they entered their new apartment, Sam spoke softly. I know this is not easy for you, Aisha. I don't expect you to pretend. Let's just take things slow. His honesty surprised her. She had expected demands, orders, and pressure, but instead there was silence and space. Still, she couldn't help but feel like her life was no longer hers. She sat on the bed later that night, holding her sketchbook in her lap, drawing a woman in a bird cage. The woman looked just like her. The first week of marriage was quiet, not uncomfortable, just quiet. Aisha and Sam shared the same bed but barely touched each other. They ate together, smiled politely, and spoke only when needed. Do you want more rice? He asked one evening. No, thank you, she replied. Then silence again. Aisha spent her afternoon in the small study room where she had placed her art supplies. It was the only part of the apartment that felt like hers. One evening, Sam knocked gently. Can I come in? She nodded, unsure. I like your drawings, he said, picking up a sketch of a sunflower. Did you paint this from a picture? No, from memory. My grandma used to plant them. He smiled. You are talented. It was a small compliment, but it felt like rain after a dry spell. Aisha nodded, still guarded. That night she wondered if Sam truly saw her, or if he was just trying to survive the marriage like her. It was a Saturday morning when it happened. They were both sipping coffee, watching the rain through the window. The air was still, the kind of stillness that invites honesty. I didn't want this marriage either, Sam said suddenly. Aisha looked up, stunned. What? I said yes to my parents. I thought maybe I'll grow into it. A pause. I thought I was the only one, she whispered. Sam gave a short laugh. No, I guess we are both trapped in something we didn't plan. They sat quietly after that, but the silence was different this time. Not heavy, just shared. That evening, Sam showed her his camera. I love photography, he said, but I haven't touched this in years. Aisha smiled. Maybe you should. He looked at her. Maybe you should paint more. It wasn't love yet, but it was the start of something real. 3 months in, Sam invited Aisha on a weekend trip to Abeokuta. I found this nature park with beautiful hills, he said. I want to take pictures. Aisha hesitated. Travel wasn't something she imagined in this marriage, but she said yes. The trip was simple: long walks, quiet moments, shared laughter over roasted corn and palm wine. One evening, while Sam was adjusting his camera near a lake, Aisha pulled out her sketch pad. He turned, surprised. You brought it? She smiled. I never leave it behind. Later, they sat under a tree, comparing photos and drawings. A little laugh escaped her lips. You are actually fun, she said. Sam grinned. That's the best compliment I've had in years. Something shifted that weekend. No big kiss, no grand confession. But when their hands brushed on the way back home, neither of them pulled away. Returning home, Aisha made a decision. She cleared a corner of the living room and turned it into her art space. Canvases, paints, a small shelf for brushes. Sam didn't stop her. In fact, he helped set up the lights. You sure this won't bother your family? She asked. I'm sure they don't live here. That sentence freed her more than he knew. His family had high expectations. His mother once said, a good wife must put her home before hobbies. But Sam defended her quietly. She's building her home too. He told his mom on a call. Aisha overheard it. She didn't say anything. But the next morning she cooked his favorite yam porridge without being asked. Not out of duty, but appreciation. They weren't perfect. Sometimes they still argued over silly things. His laundry on the couch, her forgetting to charge the generator. But now there was understanding, and slowly their arranged marriage stopped feeling like a sentence. It started feeling like a partnership. It started with a painting. Aisha had spent 3 days on it, bold colors, raw emotions, but when Sam's mom came to visit and saw it hanging in the living room, she frowned. What kind of wife paints this dark thing? Is this what you do all day? Sam stayed quiet. Aisha felt crushed. Later, she confronted him. You let her talk to me like that? I didn't want to argue with her, he said. That's your excuse. They didn't speak for 2 days. The silence this time was cold. But on the third day, Sam removed the painting from the wall, framed it properly, and rehung it. She doesn't have to understand it. I do. Aisha's heart softened. They weren't perfect, but they were learning. Aisha rented a small studio in town. I just want a space of my own, she said. Sam nodded. Then go for it. On opening day, only a few people came. Still, she smiled and served them zobo in plastic cups. Sam stood by her the whole time, clicking pictures. Your work deserves to be seen, he told her. Later that night, they celebrated with suya and drinks on the balcony. I didn't know you could make me feel this sane, she whispered. Sam looked at her. Neither did I. Sam finally got a paid photography gig, an engagement shoot. He came home glowing. They loved my work. Aisha hugged him tight. See, you are more than a tech guy. That weekend, she surprised him with a new camera strap, handmade and embroidered with his name. He smiled. We are really doing this together. Aisha nodded. Yeah, we are. One day, Aisha's mom visited unannounced. She frowned at the art. You used to be so traditional. What happened? I found space to be myself, Aisha replied softly. Her mom didn't understand, but Sam walked in, held Aisha's hand, and said, she's thriving. That's what matters. Aisha didn't cry, but her heart swelled. Months passed, and Aisha missed her period. They panicked, then waited. The test was negative. I thought I was pregnant, she said, relieved and confused. Sam sat beside her. We are not ready, but when we are, let it be our choice. For the first time, Aisha saw it clearly. They weren't just surviving an arranged marriage anymore. They were building a life they both wanted together. Aisha's art studio started gaining attention. One of her paintings was featured in a small local magazine. She rushed home, waving the copy. Sam, look, I'm in print. He picked her up playfully. I've always said you were a star. She laughed, breathless, and in that moment, she saw it clearly. This was no longer the man her parents chose. This was the man she had grown to love. That night, while clearing dishes, she said softly, I'm glad it was you. He turned to her, eyes warm. Me too. Sam organized a surprise for her, an intimate art and photo exhibition titled Brush and Lens. He invited friends, a small press, and even some of Aisha's old schoolmates. She walked in and gasped. Her paintings hung beside Sam's photography, both telling one story, their story. He stepped forward. Your art deserves light. I just made sure it found it. Aisha blinked back tears. This is the most thoughtful thing anyone has ever done for me. He held her hand, and I'm just getting started. A few weeks later, they revisited the hilltop in Abeokuta, where they'd first connected. Sam set up his camera, pretending it was just for pictures. Then he pulled out a small velvet box. Aisha froze. No pressure, he said, kneeling. But if I could choose you every day, freely, willingly, I would. She covered her mouth, heart pounding. We are already married, she whispered. I know. But this time, let me choose you, and you choose me too. Not for our families, for us. Tears slipped down her cheeks as she whispered, yes, a million times, yes. Married life didn't suddenly become perfect. They still had laundry fights and forgot birthdays. But now they laughed more, forgave faster, and built slower. Sam shot his first wedding, and Aisha sold her first large painting to a corporate client. They celebrated everything from small joys to big wins. One evening, while sipping tea, Sam said, funny how we started with a contract and ended up with a canvas. Aisha smiled, with a whole masterpiece. Years later, they opened a joint creative space called Canvas and Clicks, a place for artists and photographers to grow. They mentored young couples, shared their story, when asked, and laughed about how it all began. Sometimes Aisha would stand in the studio, watching Sam laugh with a client, and whisper to herself, thank God I didn't run, because what started as an arranged marriage turned into a partnership built on understanding, laughter, and freedom. My people, you don't see am. Na who talk say arranged marriage is not sweet like sugarcane if two people love themselves small small? Aisha and Sam na perfect example say love no be by fire but by choice. E dey build one brush stroke, one picture, one heart at a time. Na me be your hottest gift giving aunty for town, Aunty Gistina, and if na gist you want, na me get the full package. Make una like, comment and subscribe for more hot real life stories wey go scatter your head small small but build am back with better sense. Till next time, I dey go but I go come back.